Hello and welcome back to the Triple Cross Podcast. You're here with Casey, John, and Q. We are in the mix. And today we're coming at you hard with our playoff predictions from the NFL 2022 and 2023 season. Boys, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into this. And John, let's pull this little doc we've got up to show what we'll be doing today.
Yeah, buddy. Let's do it. Let's hop right in. Should we hop right in with you, Casey?
Let's get it. All right.
Starting in the AFC North, kids.
Starting with the AFC North, I'll go first. Forgot I was first on the dock, to be completely honest. And we're going the little formatting here. We're going to go with winners of each division. But if we happen to have a wild card selection from any given division, we will mention that as we go through the first time. We're going to try to refrain from bouncing back. Oh, I love what you just did there, John. Good move. So this way we can keep moving quick. So first off, out of the AFC North, I think this is probably the chalk answer now. We'll see how it shakes out. But I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning this division. Joe Burrow is, maybe hot take, might be the best quarterback in this division, I think. And he's definitely, absolutely got the best cast of receivers. That offense is going to be high-powered. The defense will be good enough to get them there. They were in the Super Bowl last year. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals winning this division. And I also have a wild card out of this division. I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Mitch Trubisky is going to be okay to start the season. I think maybe they go, 2-2, 3-2, maybe 2-3, and then they decide the rookie Kenny Pickett is ready. And I actually am calling for a great rookie season, and he's going to have good connections with his weapons as well. Pat Freiermuth in particular, in the preseason showed out a little bit with him. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers as the wild card in the AFC North. Q, you're up.
Steelers wild card.
Definitely got to go with the Bengals here. In terms of a wild card, I'm going to have to say the Steelers. Yeah, I got to go with the Steelers.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Is this really happening right now?
It's happening.
Because I also have the Bengals. And I have no wild card, which means in our opinion, the Baltimore Ravens will not be in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite a snub, probably. Most people would say from our show, but that's how it shook out. We did not share these picks ahead of time, folks. So we are all learning in real time together that that we are not high on the Ravens this year. I think maybe that contract situation is looming a little bit. Yeah. I'm actually more surprised, John, that you didn't follow suit and go Bengals Steelers. Do you have anything to say about?
I do not at this point have anything to say. I would like to exercise my Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate myself, to not give away what I want to say later in the show.
Smart move. Good man. Being strategic about it. Boys, let's move on. Let's try to move quick today. Keep this content popping. On to the AFC East. It feels weird that I go first every time, but I will if you guys want me to. Oh,
John, let's rotate it to you.
You erased my wild card, John.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it's not important, but
we good.
You.
All right,
let's go to you.
So AFC East. Definitely got to go with the Bills. In terms of a wild card, I'm gonna sit that one out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, John. Hit us with it. What you got?
I mean, it's tough not. They might be the best team in football. I actually might take the Bills to win the Super Bowl.
Hey, no spoilers, bro. How could there have been something more valuable you were going to say in the last division than that?
The Bills are going to be in heavy consideration for me to win the Super Bowl. In terms of a wild card, I also do not have one in the AFC East, which if you know football, you know what's about to shake out right now. So I won't say anything. Go ahead, Casey.
All right, boys. I like the spicy content on the internet. I want to follow suit so hard. I cannot. I have the Bills and no wild card out of this division. Josh Allen's too good. The defense is good. Stephon Diggs, one of the elite receivers in the league. Dawson Knox kind of emerging as another good weapon. And Gabriel Davis, come on. I took him everywhere in fantasy this year. He's going to break out. This is a great team. They're going to win the division.
Yeah. No, I mean, not much more to say about the Bills. Not much more to say about the AFC East. I mean,
John,
who
why don't
could?
you lead off on the AFC South for us here?
Yeah, but real quick, who could we be snubbing in the AFC East by not taking a wild card?
I don't have any.
Patriots.
Ooh, interesting.
Who'd you say?
Say more. Say more, Q.
Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, that's who I
mean,
was thinking too.
I don't know.
'Cause
Last year they did
not the
pretty
Jets.
well.
We're not We're definitely not snubbing the Jets.
Oh,
Well, I have a
definitely
dark horse in this division. We didn't officially say how many dark horses we could or couldn't have, but I have the dark horse of the Dolphins in this division, to be honest.
Interesting.
I think
Okay.
Tua, I mean, it's going to hinge on Tua. If Tua is a good cornerback in the NFL, quarterback, not cornerback, just for anybody, don't at me. If Tua can be a real quarterback at the NFL level, this team's got what it takes to do it, actually, I think. Not saying they're going to go deep into the playoffs, but I think they could sneak in through a wild card. I don't officially predict that, though.
The addition of Tyreek is very interesting. The addition it's very interesting. So
no other team has a number 2 like Jalen Waddle. Like that dude's a great receiver too.
No, they actually have a solid receiving core. Say more about the Pats though. Q, what do you think there?
I mean, honestly, I just feel like that institution is just like everything that they got going on there around, Bill Belichick has just always been super solid. Ever since not ever since Tom Brady.
Before Tom Brady, really.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in the days of Drew Bledsoe, it was good.
Yeah. I mean, really, even back to his roots, like he was one of the better coordinators in the game. But I mean, he's a great coach. GOAT coach? Are we? I mean, is that nobody disagrees with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really, right?
Yeah.
But
that being said, though, I'm snubbing the GOAT.
Mac Jones isn't like the best quarterback in the world, but
they've been struggling through the preseason too. I think that might be factoring into what we're putting out here because they've been looking bad. I'll go as far as this. I think the Dolphins are going to finish higher than the Patriots in the regular season this year.
I think it's a possibility as well. Like
I'm a big fan of Mike McDaniel.
We got to stop agreeing so much, guys.
It's all right. They're coming.
Yes, the Dolphins are not going to finish higher. Can't believe you're disrespecting the Pats like that. Disrespecting the best coach of all time.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is we're starting off a certain way. I think it's not going to stay this way. We're ending the way we're starting and the way this is going. We're going to be ending with the NFC West as a foreshadow here. And I know Q and I don't agree on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The NFC West is going to get spicy. All right. Getting into the AFC South. I will go first here in the trash division. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, am I right? Like it's just a trash division. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with the Titans to get in and no wild card.
And no wild card. All
Definitely
right,
no
that
wild
means
card.
me next, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call that spicy. I don't know if we're really supposed to react to other picks before we pick. I wouldn't call it spicy, but I don't agree. I think I got the Colts coming out of here.
Yeah, that would be the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, they've just the Matt Ryan acquisition. That's going to bring some much needed leadership. We've already talked about this on other episodes, but this is a huge upgrade over what they had last year. As far as Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan's going to be he's going to let the stars on that offense shine. They've always had a good defense. I think they're taking the division.
What you got, Q?
Cumulus. Cumulonimbus.
Q's got the Jags.
Wait. So hold on.
Shh.
So John,
if you're about to talk about my wild cards, just don't.
Oh, okay.
You can announce your wild cards before you can do it when you do your division winners. You said you got a wild card.
Are you gonna do it at the end? Are you gonna do it at the end?
No, I thus far in the three divisions that we have covered, I have no wild cards.
Oh,
okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Whoa.
Yeah, I get to move on. Move on from it.
You're the one who brought it up, John. Nobody else was even thinking that.
Yo, that's crazy. This man chose the Colts.
What?
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, that's what you did. You're going with the Titans as well.
We are truly triple crossed right now. Welcome to Triple Cross.
Even though your boy JT is going to win the rushing yards title.
Oh yeah, he's gonna run his ass off, but
he's not gonna run his ass into the playoffs though.
He's not gonna run his ass into the playoffs, no sir. Not with Matt Ryan.
Nobody has any wild cards in the trash division, just to be clear.
I mean, I'm confused, honestly. I think you guys have a huge snub here. I think you got a snub
with the Colts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time, big time.
Yeah.
Well, I
Colts
don't think
should be
a
a
wild.
wild card.
I don't think a wild card's going to come. Oh, do you want Colts as a wild card here?
No. I'm saying they could be a wild card.
You agree
they-
it's a snub,
The
right?
Colts could be a wild card here, but I don't think they will be.
Like the NFL community is pretty high on the Colts. So, I mean, I'm calling you guys a snub here. Maybe you can say I snub the Titans. I think that's fair too. We got a triple snub going on here.
Yeah, I would say that. Most people probably think the Titans are going to get out either the Colts or the. Most people think there are two teams coming out of this division.
John, you got the triple snub like all on your own, just calling this whole division trash.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I actually
mean,
personally think the Colts. I mean, I know this isn't part of the format, but
Am I
think the
wrong
Colts
about
could
that,
win
though?
a playoff game. I think they could win a playoff game. Advance one round, maybe. I think
that
they'll be
is
that good.
like so. You think the best
It'll be a
team?
close loss in the
You
first
think
round,
that
or
the
a
best
win.
team in this division's best possible outcome is to like maybe make it to the second round?
Yeah,
That's like that's not great. That's not great.
that's not great. But I would say I wouldn't call this the trash division out of all the divisions of football. I think I got one that's worse, but we'll wait till we get there.
Well, yeah,
I'll-
there
I'll-
is a trash.
I'll declare
It's
it.
the
I'll
trash
declare
division
it.
of the AFC. It's the trash division of the AFC.
Arguably, I mean, you take the Bills out of the East, which I know is like not the thing, but they're the clear winner, and then I go, division's pretty bad too, honestly.
That is true. That's not good, but
I think the Colts are
the-
solid.
the
team.
The East,
Anyway,
the East is better than the South.
I think so too.
1000%.
I mean, we were just talking about. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we still
I
as a
mean,
show,
We were just talking about the Dolphins, and we're talking about the Pat. Like, I don't think they're.
But listen,
Patriots are
guys,
solid.
as a show, if you look at the AFC East, we have one team going. If you look at, as a
Right.
show at the AFC South, we have two teams going. So it's another way to look at it. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the AFC East does that have the Jets, so that definitely brings down their mean.
I think they'll be a little bit better this year, but not much.
You're a believer in Zach Wilson?
No, I like a lot of the talent they have. They have so many draft picks, man. So many like first rounders.
I
the last
dude,
couple
I
of
think
years,
it doesn't
next couple
matter
years.
though. I think they're like, hey, you know what? We could use these draft picks on some good guys, but
I'm
let's
never gonna
let's
speak
find guys
bad.
that we know will get injured. I'm convinced that that's what the
They
Jets
need
do.
to bring back Mark Sanchez.
This is where like we maybe go
Yeah.
a little beyond like the casual point where we try to stay on the show, but I'm never gonna speak bad about a Shanahan disciple, man. Like Robert Saleh is the head coach there. They've got
I just-
one of the former
think it's an-
coordinators is the offensive coordinator there. They're gonna eventually figure out a run game similar to the 49ers. Not quite as good, but same as the Dolphins. They're gonna improve a little bit, but it might take longer. It's
To
terrible.
be clear, I think it's an organizational issue, not a coaching
Exactly,
issue or a
exactly,
player issue. Yeah, like I think the organizational there just has a culture of losing. But let's move on from the Jets. Move to the AFC West. Casey.
Casey with the KFC West.
With the KFC
Thank you with
West.
the
Sorry, I forgot I was up first again. To
The
be
spicy
completely
bucket.
honest with you. Yeah, from the KFC, I'm going to take the fried chicken original recipe, spicy take. No, okay, coming from the AFC West. Yeah, this was actually one of the hardest decisions I had. Not so much like who's going to make it, but specifically the way we're doing this is like who's going to win it. John, I should have let you know ahead of time, but I'm going to need you to go ahead and make one more row of wild card below the AFC.
I'm just
West.
going to put a slash. I'm just going to put a slash because
I got you. All right.
a couple of us have multiple wild cards out of the
Yeah,
AFC
I mean,
West.
you kind of let the cat out of the bag on your own take here early. But this was the hardest decision for me in this conference. It kind of kills me to say this, but I want to just believe, going on from the bad organization talk to the good organization talk now, the Chiefs, I think, are taking a hit this year, losing Tyreek, but Andy Reid is a mastermind. Patrick Mahomes is a top at least 5 quarterback, no matter what you're talking about in the NFL, what skill level you're talking about. And they're a good all-around team. Tyreek Hill doesn't make them not a playoff contender anymore, and I actually have them winning the division by a slim margin here. It's toughest division in the conference for sure. And I have 2 wild cards coming out of this division, which, again, still a hard decision, honestly.
Is it
but
IB,
I
are we
have-
I before E on Chiefs? Chiefs.
Yeah, we are I before E on Chiefs. Yeah.
Yes. And then you have.
And
I
I'm
mean,
actually
go
in
ahead.
order. In order, I'm going to say, because this is where there might be more disagreement, I have the Broncos and then the Chargers.
Here
yeah.
we go.
That's my take.
Let him have it, Quentin.
The Raiders, not a terrible team. Some might call this a snub, but there's just too many good teams, and I don't think they can do it. Organizational problems, as we've said. John, you laid it. You set the groundwork perfectly for me.
Go ahead, Quentin. Tell us. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. What you got?
Listen, you guys might not like me for this one. You guys really might not like me for this one, but I'm gonna say the Raiders are going to win this division.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
All right. Tell me.
My guy Devontae Adams is now on this team. And don't even get me started. You know who my favorite wide receiver in the whole league is. You guys know.
Deebo Samuel.
No, Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow.
I did not know that.
Oh, we did not know that.
We fully thought it was Cooper Kupp. 100% thought it was.
We know he accidentally got added from your queue to your fantasy team in round 3 of our work league.
I think I drafted him 2 times in fantasy this year. So
almost. So you thought about it a second time. I remember.
But anyways, Hunter Renfrow,
Devontae Adams. We got Renfrow. We got
Darren Waller.
We got Derek Carr.
They have some weapons.
Don't forget Waller. You got to talk about Darren Waller too, right? I mean,
well, of course.
Well, and
top 5 tight end.
They're running Josh Jacobs. They have him as well, right? Is he healthy?
Sure.
I think he's fallen out of favor a little bit with the
why
new
are you
coach.
shaking your head like that?
Me?
Josh Jacobs is a beast.
I love Josh Jacobs. I've had Josh Jacobs everywhere in fantasy every year the last few years, but it's a turnover of the coaching staff. Gruden loved him, and I think he's a great running back, but I don't think the new brass likes him as much because they drafted Zamir White in like the 2nd round, which is that usually speaks to your confidence in your starter.
From him after his rookie contract, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is his last year of his rookie contract. I'm not saying he's having a bad year at all. I believe him. I actually think whoever signs him in free agency next year, or if the Raiders do re-sign him, he's going to be a great player in this league. I still think that. I like Josh Jacobs a ton, but I don't think the coaches there like him that much right now.
Okay, so what do you got for wild cards here?
A wild card, I got Chiefs and the Chargers, of course. Sorry, Broncos, but not this year.
I think we saw that coming from you. The Broncos were the worst in this division, but what do you think puts the it does surprise me a little bit you have the Chargers below the Chiefs. Do you want to speak to that at all?
Oh.
Or did you even mean it in a
did you do it in order?
I didn't really do it in order. But
I did on Broncos Chargers.
No. I'm not saying. Is that what we're doing? Are we saying it's going to be Chargers?
Say it in order. Say it in order.
I will put the Chiefs over the Chargers. Yes, I think in a magical world, hopefully with the loss of Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs are still a better team. But it's just I can't really tell. It's hard. It's hard to tell.
I respect that, honestly. That's
Juju's good. Juju's good, but I just don't know what the impact of losing Tyreek Hill and picking up Juju is going to do to that team.
Juju's good.
I'll go hot take.
Juju's good. He's not Tyreek.
No, I know.
I'll go hot take here and say Juju's not even Juju. Good is the right word.
That's exactly why I used it.
He's a bad wide receiver.
He's definitely not bad.
He's like a passable wide receiver one.
Yeah,
he's not top half of the league.
He can catch the ball.
I mean, I think that's the price of entry in the NFL.
If he's the wide receiver 1 on this team, I go as far as to say he's the worst wide receiver 1 in this division. I think Cortland Sutton is better
in
than
this
Juju.
division. Yeah, in this division, maybe.
And I know Q isn't high on Cortland Sutton, so maybe that's like
Q's not high on anything that has to do with Russell Wilson or the Broncos.
Q, do you just disrespect the whole like northwest quadrant of the country, or is it something like that?
No, dude.
The man is speechless.
That's not the case. I just don't think that Russell.
That's why he's going to have Seattle winning the division when we get to the NFC, folks.
No, yeah, I mean, Q clearly, as soon as I said Russell Wilson even had a possibility like like winning the passing. He was like, "There's so many good options, and you could have chose any of them, and you chose Russell Wilson." Like, yeah, he's a legitimate choice.
That's
Like, I just
not
don't think
no.
I
That
don't
man
think you
is
have any
he's about to
respect
be a grandfather.
for
Like,
Russ.
come
I don't think you have
on.
any respect for Russ or like any of the other
John,
like
that's a good point.
Seahawks.
He
What?
came from the Northwest in
Yeah.
Seattle, stayed in the Northwest in Denver, and Q's been out on him forever, basically.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said. I think that he just doesn't
Yeah,
like
good
Russ or
point.
anything to do with the Seahawks. Yeah.
Y'all are tripping. I actually used to be a Denver fan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
used
And
to
then
have-
Russ
I
went
used to
there, and
have-
now you hate them. I get it.
Nah, I used to have my little Champ Bailey jersey.
Bro, let's go.
All right. So out of this division 8 of the AFC West, I have the Chargers. So this is fun. This is fun. This is fun, guys.
Oh, this
We
is a
each got
spicy
different-
division for us. It got
I
spicier as
know.
we went.
I know.
Ooh, I like this.
And then I do have Chiefs at 2. So we're all right there at 1 or 2 on the Chiefs.
Sure.
And then I have Broncos at 3.
Damn, no Raiders?
And then I have
Wait,
Raiders
he didn't say that, Q. He didn't say that.
at 4. So I have.
Oh yes, I
John
forgot.
did
This
it.
is unlikely statistically because they play each other so much. I get it. I get that it's unlikely. Let's make
It's
this a little bit
possible.
better.
There you
but
go. I got you. I got you, bro. You're good.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is obviously statistically unlikely because they play each other so much, but I honestly think outside of the division winners that these are the maybe 3 best teams in the whole AFC outside the division winners, and even more so than some division winners. Like I think those teams are better than than anybody in the AFC South, honestly.
So, I mean, you honestly don't have that big of a gripe from me with that quote unquote hot take, but the hardest thing is just the scheduling of it all. In fact, it might be
math
the
makes
3
it
best
difficult.
teams besides the division winners we have, but it is a tough route just based on the way that they'll have to play each other twice.
They'd have to
you're
split
gonna get
the
a lot,
games.
a lot of losses here.
They'd have to split the games with each other.
It has to
Because
work. There has to be
If
some
the
upset.
Raiders end up losing a lot, or if any of them end up losing a lot within division, then they're not in. But if they split the games with each other,
Exactly.
then they beat all the teams they're supposed to beat. It could happen.
Like, if you're right, John, just for example, if the Chargers do win the division, which I'm surprised Q wasn't the highest on the Chargers. He had
I
them
thought for
3.
sure Q was going to take the Chargers.
It's all right. I
Alright,
like the spicy take he had. He had the spicier take. We both have the Raiders 4th, and he put them at 1st. So I
Wait,
respect
hold
that
on.
too.
Why would I take the Chargers? Please, someone tell me.
Bro, I thought you were like a huge Justin Herbert fan.
I thought you liked Herbie.
Where did y'all get that from?
How you
I
talk
can't
about
understand
him on
you,
our
man.
fantasy draft. The receipts are on our YouTube channel.
I
You thought I was a Justin Herbert fan? What?
Bro, he's who you
I
drafted.
can't understand who you like and don't like.
I
at
don't
all.
even like the Chargers. I hate the Chargers.
I
You
actually
took
think
him
Q
as,
is
like, the second
unaware.
quarterback off the board, I think, in the draft.
I think Q is
Well,
unaware
just because
of
I
his
picked
own
him up on
preferences.
fantasy doesn't mean I'm a fan of him.
I mean, I know it's a big leap, but like, you don't think like quarterback success is a pretty good indicator of team success? I mean, they go pretty hand in hand historically, at least. Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm also
unless you think it's like
I'm
garbage
a Rams
time.
fan.
It's
I'm a
I
Rams
think
fan. So I don't like the Chargers.
Can I ask you this, Q? Because I just want to hear what you mean. Like, so you think Herbert's going to be valuable in fantasy? Do you think they're just going to lose a lot of games and it's going to be like garbage time stats that he racks up, or like they're going to be dominant and win a ton of games and just like you're just forecasting an insane amount of wins for the Raiders and the Chiefs, kind of thing?
I
And
mean,
the Chargers are still really good.
no, I'm not saying that the Chargers are going to be bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like I'm not a
how
Chargers
does Justin
fan.
Herbert get enough stats to justify what was it, your 4th round pick in fantasy? Like how where is he getting?
I mean,
those
it can
stats? Is it in
happen.
garbage minutes, or is it because he's way down and he's passing, or is it because they're dominating? Like what is it? You know what I mean?
He's just, he's good. Like he's a good quarterback. He might be, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league right now. But that doesn't mean that they're going to win the division.
I got you.
Like
I think
I got you. It's fine. It's yeah.
I think
no,
Justin Herbert throws one of the prettiest balls in the NFL. Like he has
I-
like one of the
think
tightest
his-
spirals.
Yep, it's
Beautiful throw.
crisp. He's the
He's
opposite of
very,
Kurt Warner.
very talented.
He is the opposite of
But,
Kurt
like,
Warner.
There's so many more factors. There's so many more factors that go into them actually winning than Justin Herbert just being very talented.
I'd love to see
Fair.
Herb in like more tough situations, 2-minute drills, playoff games. Like, you know what I mean? I just because when you're the kind of quarterback like that, that's what makes or breaks it, right? Is
I think-
how much ice is in your veins.
Yeah, I think for me, Q, it's more like I'm a little surprised because if you're a Justin Herbert believer, I believe in everything else on that team. Basically, like they have a great established running back in Austin Eckler. He can do it all. He's a great pass catcher. He's a great runner of the football between the tackles, outside the tackles. Keenan Allen, a really established like veteran receiver. Mike Williams, a great like downfield threat. I would say elite like wide receiver 2. There are not that many good wide receiver 2s on their team, and the defense is always solid. They have a just sound defensive scheme, and I like the head coach. I love that he's so into analytics. What's his freaking name? His name is escaping me right now, but he is the guy who's like always going for it on 4th down. If it's 4th and 4 or less, he goes for it basically because that's what the analytics support, depending on field position.
Okay, let's move on to the NFC, boys.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the NFC North. Who's first here? Q's first.
Q is.
Who you got in the NFC North?
Out of the North, I'm going to take the good old reliable Packers pick.
Yep, go Pack, go. I get it. Any wild cards here?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, no secret. I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I'm gonna take the one Viking. One Viking's gonna do it all. No, I'm gonna take the Vikings. But I do have the Pack with a.
They're like the Stanford
with a wild card.
With the pick
Right.
like that, you have to pick the Packers as your wild card.
Yeah. I mean, they're a standby in the playoffs, and they're good. And Aaron Rodgers has proven he can do things by himself with no weapons. And so, yeah, I'm not down on the Packers. I really like the Vikings. And I'm a Vikings fan. So anytime they're good, I'm going to take them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's very spicy in here, guys. We're pretty much in alignment. I've got nobody has the same.
You're gonna say the Lions or the Bears? I mean,
no. Nobody has exactly the same, but I have the Packers winning, and I have the Vikings as a wild card. Aaron Rodgers, you don't bet against him making the playoffs. That's kind of.
I think this slot right here, C14, is a big time snub, personally. But I don't know.
We'll see. I want to see how it shakes out. I think Q will have something to defend. Probably, I have faith in his picks, but I see it a different way. I think Kirk Cousins is underrated, not by the NFL because he's made like more money than any NFL quarterback who's only played the amount of years he has because he played on the franchise tag for like 3 years or something crazy already. Mm-hmm. It's insane, and he landed a big time contract already. He's a top 15 NFL quarterback as the football world sees it, and he's got elite weapons. They've got generally a good defense pretty much every year. Yeah, I mean, I think they're both good playoff teams in the category of like could win one. I bet there's 1 to 2 playoff wins from this division, I'll say in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. NFC East is the one that I'm like
the NFC least. This one's the garbage division.
This is the trash division of the NFC. The real question is it worse than the AFC South? And the answer is that this year, 100% it is.
I think so. And
I'm going to go with the good old American team, which I hate, but I do think that they will win the division.
The boys are first in this one, John?
Yes. And I've got no wild cards.
I'm glad you're keeping track of that because I have not been.
Sends it to you. Well, because I just remember because Quentin snubbed the Vikings right out of the gate. In the NFC
yeah, you are correct, sir. Thank you for paying attention. So I am a known. Oh, anybody who knows me,
you're a known Cowboys hater too, right?
I'm a Cowboys hater, and it's going to show up here because they're overrated every year. They get a ton of media attention just because they're America's team. I've always liked this team historically. Maybe you could say I've over forecasted their success on a yearly basis, but this year I think there's some juice to it. I'm going with the Eagles. I love the addition of AJ Brown. He's not exactly like the fantasy asset I targeted in fantasy football based off where he went. But it's one of those situations where he came to a team that finally found a decent weapon in Devonta Smith. Jalen Hurts is a let's say, solid, hopefully NFL level quarterback. My biggest fear is honestly that he just has a horrible season and he's not the QB they think he'll be. But I don't know that I think that's going to happen. It's just a fear I have. And I think with AJ Brown becoming the true alpha in the receiver room, this offense takes a step up. They've got depth at running back, even if there's maybe no superstar. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right. No wild card, though.
No wild card.
No wild card. All right. Who do you got in the trash division of the NFC, Q?
Oh,
You agree
wild
that they're
card.
the trash division? Are you with?
Wait, maybe
us
he's
on
got
that?
a wild card. Maybe he doesn't agree. He's been
No
quiet over
wild
there.
card?
No
You
wild
got
card.
Oh
no
wow,
wild
you got
card
a
in the
wild
East.
card in the NFC East. Okay.
That is
What do you got here?
insane.
Tell me. Talk to me. I mean, you did.
I'm gonna
I
have to
I
go-
trust your ability to make that bad decisions since you think there's going to be a wild card in this division and the Vikings aren't going to make it. But
Yeah, the Vikings aren't going nowhere. But anyways, I'm gonna have to go with the Cowgirls with this division.
That's like the most backhanded compliment.
And
the Cowgirls are going to win the division, but they will still be the Cowgirls.
and we're gonna go with the Eagles as a wild card.
Well, now we can't even
okay.
argue about anything. I can't see a wild card coming out of this division, but I mean, we're more or less as a show in alignment on what we think of the division.
I mean, yeah, I see two Cowboys up there. I see two Eagles up there. I guess the only tiebreaker would be the Cowboys. Two people have as the division winners. So I guess as a show, we're bigger on the Cowboys, but the Eagles are right there.
And you even said, and you're like, I don't like the Cowboys, and I tend to overproject the Eagles. So I think we're all kind of like pretty in alignment here. So moving to the moving to the Brady division, aka the NIFCA South.
One second, John, just real quick. But that does
Yes.
mean de facto that like Q sees the Cowboys and the Eagles over the Vikings, and I
know.
see the Vikings over the Cowboys at least.
I know.
So
I understand, and I think that the Vikings are actually going to finish higher in the NFC than both the Cowboys and the Eagles. But I mean,
what
you
about
know,
so John? I guess the only thing that puts on you
Oh.
is you're saying the Packers, although below the Vikings, will outplay the Eagles this year.
yes,
We're
Wait.
kind of rock paper scissors on this.
I actually think Packers and Cowboys are right there.
Wait,
I
the
think
Cowboys.
Packers might out. I think both teams in the NFC North might outplay any team in the NFC East.
Yeah,
That
we're
would-
already nobody has this. Like we all three of us have three different teams right now. So interesting. Early.
Wait, the Cowboys. They lost Amari Cooper, didn't they?
Yeah, he's in Cleveland now.
You want to change your
Oh.
answer?
He's in Cleveland with
No.
big old Jacoby
They still got
Brissett,
CeeDee
bro.
Lamb.
Yeah, I mean,
No, they'll be fine, but I just don't think they'll be.
so
I think
just to be,
they'll be in the hunt, but I think they'll get. I'm snubbing them. I think they'll
just to be
right
clear, do
there.
you think the Browns are going to make it now? Q?
No, he didn't.
Why?
do that.
Why would I think that?
He didn't even know where.
I know.
Right.
I'm like, nothing will surprise me anymore out of you.
I think Amari Cooper is underrated. So
Okay, moving to Brady division.
Browns need to worry about
who's
who's
first.
quarterback.
I think you're up, Q, in the NFC South.
no, he snubbed the Vikings right out of the gate. Then you started with the Cowboys, so it'd be me.
Yep, sorry, Casey's up.
You're good.
in
You're
the-
good.
in the
I didn't
NFC South.
remember until you reminded me.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't mind going first. Actually, I'll take the chalk pick. Actually, I'm gonna call it before I say anything. I am gonna forecast we all have this division the same. I got the
Okay.
Bucks winning. Not betting against the GOAT. I don't care that he took 12 days off in a row in preseason.
Don't bet
Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not missing the playoffs.
As they say in trading, the trend is your friend until it turns, and the trend is still on Tom Brady. So
If Tom Brady plays 17 games this season, so like barring an injury to Tom, they're making the playoffs. You can put money on it. The Bucks win this division. We don't need to go into how strong the team is because it's strong everywhere.
Yeah,
They're
I
a
mean-
deep playoff team the last few years anyway. And I have the Saints coming out as a wild card this year. That's kind of where it came. Like it kind of came down like Cowboys or Saints to me. It was my ultimate decision, and let's go Jameis. Like I'm a fan, somewhat. I think he's got eye surgery. He can see the field better. Maybe I think we've seen a new, improved, efficient Jameis. And
the eyes. What are the eyes on the bottom half though?
The eyes on the bottom half are the testes, bro. How did you
He's
even
got
ask
eye
me that?
surgery, and he's
You
got
got 4
big old
balls in
balls.
your body, bro. Like you made that so easy. Does that make the
That's I
scrotum
know.
the, like
I
orbital
threw up that
socket
so that you
of
can throw it down. He got eye surgery, and it probably made the bottom half ones better too. So he's got good
Bro,
eyes
is
and
that-
big old balls, and he's going to make the playoffs.
That's the real question. Is the
yo.
scrotum the orbital socket of the southern hemisphere? I don't know why you're laughing. This is a
I
serious
don't know.
question.
Yeah.
No, anyway, all
This
right.
is
So
a-
I'll pass the buck to Q here.
see what you did there.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the Panthers for this one.
Whoa, wait.
No,
Okay,
I'm
you're
just
being
kidding. I'm
serious.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, okay. Whoa, good stuff.
I mean, I
That
wrote
was
it
good.
down.
You got me, bro. You got me.
Clearly, the fact that I typed out the whole word Panthers signals that there's nothing from you that will surprise me at this
If
point.
there's a single Panthers,
No, I'm going with the
fan watching, they're
Buccaneers.
like, Q is my new favorite. And then they're like, Q is now my least favorite. Like, how dare you make it
Nah,
look at my
you guys
team?
are tripping. You guys act like, nah, that's crazy.
All right, you
I don't
got
even know
you
what
got a
you mean
wild
by
card
that's
here.
crazy. You did it.
Nah, no wild card. No wild
No
card.
wild
No
card.
wild card. Oh,
No
okay.
belief in big Jameis, huh?
Not the
I
anatomy
am.
professor.
Yeah, no. I think he'll make a great anatomy
Oh,
professor,
man.
but
Q, I don't like where your board's sitting right now. I don't know what you. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna do, and
he's
I'm
gonna
be
choose.
so-
He's gonna put the Niners in. So
I don't
Oh,
think. That's
Why
what
are
he's
you
doing.
calling my?
you think he's
pick
gonna put the
over me?
Seahawks in? This man's not gonna. Put
I
the
think
Seahawks.
this man has a vendetta against the Niners, but we'll see. We'll see what he thinks. Maybe he
Okay.
doesn't. I don't know. We'll see.
I
think for the
also
content, you
don't.
might be spicing it up. We'll see.
I'm
Maybe
not.
not, though.
I'm not. I'm also not a believer yet in big Jameis. The
Am I going
anatomy.
first on this
Whoa, that
one?
is so strange to me. I thought for sure
No?
you guys liked it. All right. All right. I'll sit on that. I'm the only
Am
one
I
without
going
the,
first on
that's
this
what it
one?
was. Cowboys over Saints. I'm a Saints guy. You're the Cowboys guys. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine
I
with
gotcha. I gotcha. No, that's a good point. But it's because you picked the Eagles. I have the Cowboys in the division anyway. So for me, it's
Fair.
I still
fair.
think the Saints could beat the Eagles, but neither of them will get in. Moving
So
to the
wait,
NFC
real
West.
quick.
Is
Then
that,
Q, you have the Eagles over the Saints. Feels right to you?
Yeah.
You like that? I agree with that actually. So I can't even.
all
tell.
right, all right. I mean, you do because you think they'll win the division.
Yeah, I
guess
thought it was interesting. I'm trying to point out interesting stuff I see on the board. You know.
Yep. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, all right. Q, you're batting cleanup here. This is going to be a good one. I can just write this in, right? Like I can.
I mean, just go ahead,
yeah.
put it there. You already know it's coming. So.
Yeah.
Boring. We started out boring. It's fine.
That's
But-
one thing that's always going to stay consistent.
But
with me.
you have wild cards to give still. You have
Yes.
to. So you think there are two coming here? So who do you
All right,
got?
Q. This is. I mean, I'm
I
not
don't have
trying
a
to get in
choice.
front of your pick, but this is where I learn all I need to know about you is what kind of guy you are.
That's crazy. Now my character's being
football mind,
questioned.
from a football mentality.
Casey's like, I'm not. You know, we
Q's a
might not
good
be able
guy.
to.
We have
We might
fun
not
on
be able to be friends after this. But
At the
Q's
two
a good guy.
spot,
We have
AC,
fun
listen,
on this.
just let me just say the picks because I know you're waiting.
I
The
am.
2 spot, I'm going to say the 49ers. And the only
Oh,
reason,
dog.
the
My dog.
only reason why I'm going to say that they're number 2 and not 3, because they would have been
Trey
3.
Lance, baby, MVP.
No, not because of him. Because D Hop is suspended for a good amount, and I think that's gonna hold the Cardinals back from winning some games. So
But they make it.
at
Are they the
number
3?
3, we got the Cardinals. What happened?
I was just asking if that was your 3. I thought you might for a second be
You
like,
thought I was
so
gonna
the
put the
Seahawks
Seahawks?
step in. I
No,
thought you might go crazy.
we've already
Triple.
established Q hates the
No,
Seahawks. and
I'm
everything
I'm so happy that you did not. I thought you were gonna intentionally snub the Niners and put the Seahawks in as your number 3 in this division.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Bro, hey,
I'm not
Respect,
crazy.
respect. I know
Alright.
you're not gonna put the Niners over your own team, so I respect them being in the 2 spot.
So here we
Nah,
go.
I mean, that just can't ever happen.
Game
49ers
respects game.
just-
Game respects.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, and I mean, if I were to guess, I'm going to guess there's going to be reciprocity on that same. I'm just calling it out now, but
I wouldn't
I
call
mean,
it
the Rams
reciprocity.
are the
I
better
will
team.
get a little bit. I'll get a
The
little
Rams
bit
are the
different
better
here.
team.
We're going to go Seahawks. No, I'm just kidding. I think
You already made that joke, John.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
be the Panthers. I'm gonna be the tiebreaker essentially on this because I do think it will be Niners and Rams, and I think it'll be really, really close between those two. But I'm a Trey Lance believer.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Q.
And John,
That's
am I looking at this right? You have 2 wild cards coming out of this division.
I
huh?
do, yeah. So I'm in the same boat as Q. I think we got Rams. I think the Cardinals are getting in the 3 spot out of this division.
Okay.
I mean,
No
that's
real-
not nearly as crazy as 3 getting in from one division in the AFC.
No real gripe from me here. We kind of all see it really similar. You can call it a snub if you want. Partially, this is similar to the AFC. Oh, I should start with the leader. 49ers, let's go.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I just wrote it. You know, you can
Yeah.
just tell us your wild cards.
Yeah, I immediately went to the wild card. Sorry, I should say it for the show. Yeah, 49ers taking it real quick. Trey Lance is the only like question mark at all, really. I mean, even a 49ers hater, we've seen the rest of the team do this already. Basically,
Worst case scenario, they can go back to Jimmy G. I think that's not what they want to do, and they maybe shouldn't for long term. But like we know he can manage the game.
As the resident 49ers truther of the show, I'll sign off on that. I want to emphasize I don't believe they want to go to Jimmy. The contract that they restructured really does show that. You know,
Yep.
It became like a trendy headline that like, oh, there's no faith in Trey Lance because they re-signed Jimmy G. They re-signed Jimmy G at like less than a third of the cost that his contract already called for.
I think that I did see, some commentary.
They were going to release him, but they didn't. Or else wasn't going to get a starting job anywhere. Anyway, they retained him because if you're going to be a backup QB, why not be the backup QB on the team? You already have success. If Trey Lance goes down or he does struggle and they put in Jimmy, Jimmy's going to be able to put more game film on tape this year and land a good job next year. So that, just to explain it, that is the real situation. You can fight me over it. They believe, whether or not Trey Lance is successful, the 49ers do believe in him.
Yeah.
Full stop.
So what do you got out of this division for the wild card? You got Rams or Cards?
Second up, I got the Rams. There is, I wouldn't call it reciprocity because I didn't do it because Q said it. The Cardinals, you can call it a snub if you want, but looking at my other wild card teams, I would say the Vikings are right. The Vikings and Cardinals are about the same level of competitive, but the Cardinals got to play the 49ers, the Rams. There's a lot of games they're going to lose, I think, this year. The Cardinals are not a good team yet. They have a good talent, but we saw them implode in the playoffs last year. When it comes down to it, good teams win tough games, bad teams lose tough games, and the Cardinals are somewhere in between, and I think they're right on the brink, just like the Cowboys. Honestly, if you told me who's going to win more games, the Cowboys or the Cardinals, I would say whatever the win amount is, it's the same, and they both barely missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and I would say that the Cardinals are like a really great fantasy team. You know what I mean? Like they'll have like a solid. There's like multiple players on there that are like really good fantasy takes, but that doesn't really speak to their ability to like win tough games.
By the way, also just another shout out, Q. This is the most we've ever seen in alignment on an episode so far, completely because of DeAndre Hopkins too. If DeAndre is there every game, I have them over the Saints for sure. So I think they lose a disproportionate amount of games while he's out because it's tough sledding, man. It's tough. Like they still got some decent targets, but like that offense just is so inconsistent. They need all the stabilizing forces they can get, and DeAndre Hopkins is the number one stabilizing force.
Okay, so reviewing the whole board here.
Give me a little scroll down, a little bit scroll down.
Let me give me give you a little zoom out, actually.
Yeah, zoom out.
Before we move on, I just gotta say one thing.
What's up, Q?
The fact that you don't have the Cardinals making the playoffs when the Super Bowl is in Arizona is absolutely crazy.
But you think that's just going to happen every year now?
Nothing to do with who makes
You think the Rams win in SoFi and then it becomes like, okay, now whoever's the home team of the Super Bowl like goes to the Super Bowl?
They're in. It's a script.
Wait, because we're talking about the playoffs.
If you believe that, you basically believe the NFL is the WWE.
No, both of you guys are actually delusional for even picking the 49ers over the Rams anyway, so I should have already known better. But let's just
we're talking about a whole different team. But I think this is the perfect segue because you're talking Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl is in Arizona this year. Are you saying the Cardinals are going to the bowl? Because that's where we're going next. Is who actually?
I didn't say they're going to the bowl, but they're definitely going to be like either. Yeah, they're going to be a wild card for sure.
Well, Q, you kind of broke the bubble first, and I think you'd be. No, John, you would be first here if we kept the same order.
From each conference, I'm still filling in this board here. So
problem, John. No problem. I'll go first. You want me to just go ahead and start her off?
Yeah. So we'll go, and I'll just come back and fill in this board later. Sure. But yeah, so let's get into champions here. Gonna go with the NFC champion. It should be me, right?
I think it should be you.
Let's reset it. I really, I would prefer.
Let's
to
restart
not-
the order. John's got some catching up to do. You fill your thing in, John. I'll go ahead and go here. No surprise. A little bit of homerdom, but when your team is, you know, even Q, I think, would say probably a top 5 team in this conference. Tough not to argue that, honestly. I'm going 49ers here. I'll forecast a little bit to give John a little extra time. I'm probably the only one going 49ers all the way to the Super Bowl. You can call it a hot take. I don't think it's hot, but
That's
you
super
could say
hot.
I'm snubbing the Rams because they won the Super Bowl. That's sure. But the 49ers did beat the Rams 2 times out of 3 matchups last year. Even the time they did lose, it was a 1-score game, like down to the wire. It's the new rivalry of the division. Even Q has it that way. Rams 1, 49ers 2. I think we all agree it's the biggest rivalry in the NFC. I mean, I don't see it any other way, at least interdivision.
Pack Viking, yeah, in that division for sure. Pack Vikings is like a pretty long-standing rivalry as well.
It's long-standing, but I don't think this one's the new most competitive one. I think both those. I'll go as far as to say I think the Rams and the 49ers are both better than the Packers and the Vikings. I don't know if Q will sign off on that based off of his 49ers hate, but I think that's fair. The 49ers beat the Packers last year, and the Vikings went out first round of the playoffs last year. Like, the NFC West is winning games. Give me minimum of 3 playoff wins coming out of the NFC West. Minimum. Probably 4, maybe, I don't know, is 5 even possible based off what I projected? Yeah, they're going to win a lot. NFC West is going to the Super Bowl. Put it like that. But I think it's 49ers.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't start with the NFC, but that's fine. You want to just go NFC first?
Yes,
yeah. Let's go NFC all the way through. Q, who you got in the NFC, bro?
NFC champion. Damn.
I mean,
I think I go.
Oh, I see
Rams.
NFC North.
Was it really? Is it the Rams? Do you think it's going to be the Rams? This is a tough decision for you. Were you really waffling, or was that just acting? If you are waffling, I'm interested.
I mean,
in
they
who you're
won.
waffling on.
They won last year, so I'm just like, eh.
I feel like Q waffled for a minute, for just like a split second, and then acted for a split second. I think it was a combination.
No, it's because like I obviously like as a fan, I'm trying not to be biased. So.
Right. It's tough, but you believe in them. The same thing with me and the Niners. I get it.
I think they could do it, but yeah, they lost a lot of weapons too. So
lost OBJ. That's probably the biggest one, right? I mean, Von Miller's gone.
Not OBJ. Von Miller.
Von Miller. Well, defense. You said weapons, so I assumed offense. I get you. I agree. Yeah. 2 biggest losses for the team, though, probably, right?
For sure.
Yeah. It's tough sledding a little bit there, but they're gonna make the playoffs. But Super Bowl, spicy a little bit for me, but it's all right. I like it.
I think the 49ers.
This is the real question. Does John follow suit and go full fandom?
Vikings. You like them and you want to believe in them, and I do believe in them. If there's a year, then it's like this is definitely a year that they have a shot. But here's where I'm at with it. I think the 49ers are going to win the NFC West. I think the NFC West is the toughest division. But then I think that the Rams are better set to win through a playoff series. Trey Lance is, I mean, you're going to tell me a guy playing his first year in the NFL. I think it's tough. I'm going to go with, I just don't think he's going to be ready. I think he'll get a playoff win, which is great. You know, maybe 2 playoff wins, but like, I don't think he's going to win the NFC West.
Go, John.
I don't think he's going to win the NFC. Sorry, but during the season, I think they will. I do think they'll take the division.
Yes,
fair enough, boys. I mean,
that hurt me a lot to say. I do.
There's
think
the John I know and love.
The Vikings are good, but I agree that both the Rams. I when I think about it, I think the Rams could beat them in the playoffs. I think that like the Vikings might be a team that takes down the Niners just because of inexperience at the quarterback position.
If I'm being honest, I think on a national level, the only thing we haven't covered in the NFC now is probably the snub of the Packers. They're pretty hot pick nationally to make the Super Bowl from the NFC. Anybody have anything they want to say about that?
I absolutely will never pick the Packers to make the Super Bowl unless it's like the Vikings suck this year, so I have nothing to lose.
Gotcha. Q, anything? Nah. I think Aaron Rodgers is good based off the last couple of years. It's hard not to say he's the favorite to win MVP again, even losing Devontae Adams, just because that's it's down to voting. It's not like based off something completely objective. So maybe Aaron Rodgers wins 3 MVPs for the second time in NFL history in a row. But yeah, I think again, bad teams lose playoff games. And
we don't think. We also none
Maybe
of us
that
think.
team.
We also none of us think that the Bucks are going to make the Super Bowl either.
Oh, good call. Actually, that's even spicier for sure, because I would say the Bucks definitely win at least a playoff game. Thanks for calling that out, John. I didn't mean to overlook the Bucks. That was an accident. Yeah. Anybody got anything to say about that?
And so actually what the two teams that I was flipping between were not the Rams and Niners and not even the Vikings. It was Rams Bucks. But I think that the Rams have like I think they're a little bit better defensively. Like I think they're a little more complete of a team. And I don't think Matt Stafford is maybe as good as Q thinks he is, but I think he is a guy who like gets the job done even in tough situations.
Sure. Q, you have anything to say about the Bucks before we move on here?
No, I have something to say about what he just said about Matthew Stafford. Like, why are
Sorry,
you
I stopped listening. Go ahead.
What did Matthew Stafford do?
No,
Like,
I'm just saying I don't think he
was just be one of the top 3 quarterbacks last season. That's all he did. Like,
in passing yards.
I don't think that he's like, I don't think he has Tom Brady level like clutchness, you know. I mean,
yeah, he just
that's
he
tough.
just definitely didn't win a Super Bowl. Like,
but I think that he can get the job done for sure. More so than I believe in Trey Lance. It's tough for me to really get behind.
Yes, you can.
And that's really where I'm at with the Vikings too, is I trust Kirk Cousins to do the right thing with the ball, but not to really like, you know, win a game when he's going to be the one who has to win the game. You know what I mean?
I'll unless there's somebody else that wants to go here, I'll wrap up the
Go for
NFC
it.
by saying, I'll say that, like I said, I think Aaron Rodgers is the odds-on favorite, like Vegas odds to win the MVP again, just because it's happened twice in a row already. But I would say I'll go a little spicy, not super spicy. Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers in the MVP race. Let's go. I'll go with that.
Okay.
Just disrespect Aaron Rodgers real quick right before we move on.
Yeah.
We're pretty down on the Packers, honestly, as a show.
I mean, I naturally am the same way you feel about the Seahawks, really. Like
how many Packer wins in the playoffs, guys? If you had to guess.
What?
How many Packers wins in the playoffs?
I think
they win a game, 2 games. Nobody has them winning 3 and going to the Super Bowl.
I have them winning because who do I think will be in the NFC semifinal? I think they maybe one
game.
Yeah, I would say
maybe
max 1 game. I don't think they win 2 games in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna have Rams, Niners, Bucks, Vikings in the NFC semifinals or whatever. What do you call it?
Yeah, the
semifinals. Yeah, no, I mean, I think those are going to be the last 4 teams in the NFC.
So you hold on. Actually, let's finish the rest of the picks because I just want to know something. But,
okay, all right.
AFC, Q, you want to lead off the AFC? Like, who you got in the AFC?
AFC, I'm going to have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Bills.
Yeah.
Dope.
Bills. Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, we don't even have the wild cards on here, John. Nobody.
I know. I haven't transferred them over. Just give me
it's okay, bro. It's okay. I'm just wondering if somebody's actually going to call for a wild card making the Super Bowl in the AFC. That would be.
No, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna ask. That's how I was waiting for the end to ask.
Because like John has like the Niners winning the NFC and then the Rams kind of outplaying them.
A wild card winning. So I was like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, bro. I mean, do you have one that you think is going to beat the Bills in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think a wild card will win the AFC.
Oh shit!
I'm waffling between who it will be.
John's calling.
I don't know how. Do you want? Should I go really hot takey with it? I'll go really hot takey with it because in reality, if I had to like place a bet, I would place a bet on the Chiefs.
I imagine we revisit this after the Super Bowl happens.
If I had to place a bet, I would place a bet on the Chiefs. But I'm gonna go really hot takey with it and say the Raiders actually make it out of the NFC. See, here's I have them as 4th in their division.
Overcoming adversity.
Yes. Yeah. No. I think they will have problems at the beginning, right? Like They're going to have struggles like getting it figured out, but I do think that they're going to get it figured out. And really, if they get fourth in their division, they probably won't even get a wild card, really. But I do think that they'll get a wild card, whatever will shake out. And that's really hot takey though. Like, because if we go back to here, I mean, yeah, like I would place a bet on the Chiefs if I had to place a bet on a wild card. But yeah, I don't know. Raiders.
Wow. I got to say,
John
guys, I have
picks-
the Raiders not making the playoffs. Q has them winning their division, and John has them making the Super Bowl.
We are
Like,
all over the place on the Raiders.
it is wild.
No,
We
not
are.
even just. Not even. That's wild.
So Q, what do you got? What do you got
No,
here in the AFC?
Q went already. It's my turn.
yeah,
I'm going
Casey.
pretty chalky here. We've already talked about him quite a bit. I agree with Q.
Yeah.
Best team here is they're the Bills.
I mean,
Which is
look, the
interesting.
reason I didn't do it is because I actually also think it's the Bills. Like, but
Hey,
that's
don't
not
spoil
fun.
it for the show. You have your hot take. Just ride and die by it. All right.
Yeah,
I
all right,
appreciate the
all right.
context, but before you give that context, let me say so. As a show, pretty interesting pattern emerges. We have 4 teams only that we project even going to the Super Bowl. All right, before we hit the Super Bowl champs here. So we have 2. We have the Rams double voted from the NFC and the Bills double voted from the AFC. So I guess as a show, those are our favorites. That's the way that Triple Cross sees it. With I guess you could call them dark horse Super Bowl candidates of the 49ers and the Raiders. That is our show take. Moving on to Super Bowl champ next. I guess I went last there, so that makes me first, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm first up. I mean, this is, if I'm being honest, if I'm right on the Super Bowl matchup, which I have to just assume because we all have to on our own projections, this will be the hardest game of the year for the 49ers, if this is true, right? Because the Bills are a dominant force. And I am not going to lie. This was the one thing I had deciding live on the spot for this episode. I had everything else planned out, and I kind of forgot to even make this call. So based off that, I hate myself.
I think you know, and go ahead.
I hate myself. But
Yeah,
I want to be able to look back on it and say I got it right. And you know what? If I happen to be wrong, if I got the Super Bowl matchup right and then got the winner wrong, I can still live with myself because my team will have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
either way,
I'm going
yeah.
the Bills beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl because that's as far as my fandom will take me. John, you're right. First year starting quarterback. I want to see him go as deep as anybody's ever gone. Don't believe a first-year starter has won the Super Bowl. Could be wrong.
Nice wishful thinking, Casey.
The Bills?
No,
I would say that's not wishful thinking.
On your first year quarterback, believing that he'll go far.
We've moved on from that portion. We're in the next round now.
Okay.
I just talked
now
down
we're in an
49ers.
interesting
Pretty
position
picky while I'm
because
down.
Q also has to make the decision on full fandom or
Okay.
Bills.
Just
The
want to
Bills.
point out something for the AFC South. I definitely did not pick the Colts to be winners. I picked the Titans.
It's fair. He did.
Oh, that's my bad.
It's all good. But
I also
for
picked
Super
the
Bowl
Titans.
champions, I have got. I'm gonna use reverse psychology here, and
On an
and
NFL
I'm gonna
team.
go with the Bills
Yeah.
because every time I
You
want
guys
a team
both did the
to
same
win,
thing.
Yeah, we did.
every time I want a team to win, they always lose. So hopefully, if I say the Bills will win, the Rams will actually win again.
You guys both did the
Fair
same
enough.
thing because if either of your team and the Bills go to the Super Bowl and then you're right, like you can either be right about this or that your team will have won the Super Bowl.
Or I can be happy.
Yeah.
I
But
can
I'm
get
the
it
only
right,
one
or I
who
can be
doesn't
happy.
stand to gain from the Super Bowl that I called because I don't really even like either of these teams.
Which RA
just-
team is going to win it?
Which I don't even really like either of these
It's
teams.
okay. Just go with the
I'm not
Rams.
like super much, yeah, but look, if the Raiders have put together this kind of playoff run, how could I not? You know what
There's
I'm saying?
literally
Like
no way he's serious.
That is
If
the
there's-
definition of confirmation bias.
if the Raiders are there, first of all, like if we just all had the Bills here, that would be boring. But if the Raiders are there, if they put together that kind of playoff run, then I'm a friggin' believer by that point. Like I'm just
All
saying.
right. Hey, I respect it. That's like you don't need to go there with the bracket to like already gain some points on us. I think that'll be interesting. I think we've gone a little over on this episode, but I think it was full of some fun stuff, some fun twists. Boys, I'm going to go ahead and close this show out real quick for us. Guys, thank you for watching the Triple Cross podcast, our playoff predictions episode. Please go ahead and like the video. Comment, who do you think had the best playoff predictions? We want to hear from you. We definitely got to put this kind of thing up on Twitter in some fashion. Who had the best playoff predictions overall? Who do you agree with? Hit the subscribe button on YouTube or whatever platform you're watching on. Hit the bell icon to get notifications about whenever we drop new content onto the channel. And until next time, keep it real, Triple Cross.